So, like I said, like Williams, they've had a very good season, and I think it's their best finish in the constructors since 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So, so Williams, like they've had a very very good season, and it's their best finish in the constructors since 2017 when they finished fifth. It's also the first season they have had where they've had more than one podium since 2016, where I think they had Bottas and Felipe Massa in that season. So for Williams to still like finish, to still like to see them, competing and with the big boys, etc. I mean, it's like the old days, So yeah, they've had a very very good season, and for sure James Vowles as a team principal, he's massively improved Williams as a team, as an organization, and everything. And they look like a family. They look like a united team. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in junior regulation, because I think they could upset people. I think they could cause problems. I'm really looking forward to see. Obviously, they've got the Mercedes engine, which it should be the best engine for the 2026 regulations. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do. I'm really, really looking forward to see what they're going to do. Listen, are they going to win the championship in the new regulations? I don't think so, because if Mercedes are going to be the best engine, I think it should be McLaren or Mercedes. But I would be surprised to see them, competing for the title challenge at least. So because the transformation that Williams have shown, the progression is amazing. And the job that James Vowles has done is fantastic. So and they've got two quality drivers as well. Albon, who's now more like a veteran now. He's been like in Formula One for what 6 7 years now. So he's starting to have more experience, and he's a good driver, very good driver. He had a good season. Carlos Sainz, obviously, he always improves teams when he goes to in terms of constructor standings, as you see in the social media, the Sainz effect. So they've had a very good season. I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do in the future. Ferrari, Ferrari, they've had a poor season by their own standards, finishing fourth. They had some moments where Leclerc got pole in Hungary. Leclerc got some podiums in Austin, and in Mexico, and Leclerc had some good individual performances. Um, like Monaco, for example, where he was very good there, but Lando was amazing in his lap in qualifying. Um, so there were some moments. Hamilton winning the sprint in China as well. There were some moments, but at the same time, it's been a disaster of a season for Ferrari. Not a good season at all. Um, nowhere, nowhere near the top. Hamilton was struggling a lot for the whole season. He didn't he even get the podium, and that's the first time in his career where he finished the season without a podium, let alone without a race win. Um, yeah, he's not. Yeah, some of it you could blame Ferrari's car struggles and the organization struggles in terms of the engineers and mechanics, but his performance as well. He's been a lot of times he's been out in Q1, and it was like you're like, oh, it's not a surprise anymore. Like his communication with the engineer as well. I mean, it's been a season to forget for Lewis Hamilton for sure. It's been a season to forget. But according to the new regulations, where a lot of people saying he should suit his driving style, etc., etc., maybe you could see the resurgence. And obviously, we all know Hamilton's second season with teams like McLaren, Mercedes, he always does well. So yeah, for sure he's gonna be better next season. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we're gonna see this level of performance from Hamilton we saw this season. He's too good of a driver for his own standards and own reputation to be still be at that bad level. So I expect it to be much better next season. Also, and and I hope he will improve as well, because Lewis Hamilton, he's done he's in his career. In my opinion, you could say he's the goat. With all the records he has, the race wins, the championships. podiums, poles, everything, everything. And so, and even, Max said it, it hurts to see Lewis like this, in his interviews saying that I'm used this, etc., etc. So I hope we're gonna see the best of Lewis 2026, because that's what Formula One deserves. He's not only, he's more than a driver, Lewis Hamilton. He's the personality he has, the records, the reputation. Hopefully, he's going to be back to his best next season. And I hope Ferrari are going to be back to the best next season, because they're too good of a team as well, with their own history and reputation and their own brand. I hope they're going to be better than next season. Are they going to be better next season? That's a big question mark with the new regulations. Leclerc, also, there's even rumors that he could leave Ferrari if Ferrari don't start well in 2026. So, yeah, Ollie Behrman could replace Lewis Hamilton if he struggles, and Leclerc could leave as well Ferrari. So next season is a big season for Ferrari, and they have to improve. They have to improve. They for sure have to be much better. Otherwise, they're doomed. Red Bull, they've had a up and down season. They finished third in the constructors. They had to change drivers early in the season. Liam Lawson to Yuki Tsunoda. Again, that was a baffling decision to do that. And then Yuki Tsunoda to in the timing as well, because I think Yuki Tsunoda should have started from Red Bull from earlier, not like change drivers and not put so much pressure on Liam Lawson. A bit like the Alpine situation. And Yuki Tsunoda didn't do much, really, I have to say. He did have a brilliant season, except Qatar sprint. But other than that, Red Bull, Baku, other than that, Red Bull, second seat is still cursed. And Red Bull couldn't put a car for two drivers to actually score points. They did for Max, but for the second guy to Max, Liam or Yuki, they've struggled. So, yeah. And that's why they were so behind in the Constructors' Championship. And obviously, not only they had to change drivers, they had to change the manager. Christian Horner sacked. I still think that was a baffling decision. And bringing lawmakers, who's done a good job on the short term, but obviously next season is going to be a big question. Obviously, the new engine, Helmut Marko leaving as well. So, yeah, it's been a difficult, up and down season for Red Bull, and they, despite all the problems they had, they nearly ended up winning the Drivers' Championship with Verstappen's brilliance. They were very good in the second half season. I have to say, Red Bull were very strong in the second half season. They were very fast. And Max was brilliant. However, they still ended up not winning anything as a season. So, yeah, and they've had a difficult season. They've had a very difficult season. Obviously, with GP's, the Max engineer, he's had some issues privately. Helmut Marko leaving, Christian Horner leaving, changing drivers. It's been not an easy season. However, they did have a good second half of the season, where Lawmakers was able to steady the ship, and they were better second half season, and Max was winning a lot of races as well. So, yeah. They had a good second half of the season, and for them to even still be, they still had a chance to even win the driving championship with Abu Dhabi was a kind of a miracle as well, and for Max as well, and for Max to lose the title by 2 points, considering he was 104 points behind after Zandvoort, was a miracle as well. So Max has had an amazing season. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and again, this season he showcased why he's the best driver in Formula One. By far, the quality he has, the precision, the consistency, the focus, the determination, everything. His driving is amazing to watch. He's obviously dominated this ground effect era, and he's been, as a Formula 1 fan, I've loved watching Max Verstappen drive because he's been absolutely amazing. And considering a lot of the season was McLaren were doing some shenanigans with the papaya rules, etc., etc. So to see Max to be involved in that title fight made it more exciting, and for him to even nearly ending up winning the championship was a miracle. So he had an amazing second half season. Even in races where he didn't win here, he managed to get the podium. The consistency he had was amazing. And he showed why you can never count Max Verstappen out at any cost. Even though when he's down and he's not performing well, he can still come back. Even when he's 104 points behind, you can never count him out. So what another season! What a season for Max he's had. He's also won the most races, the most pole positions, joint most sprint wins with Lando. So yeah, he's had an amazing season, and I think you could say easily by narrative and what happened in circumstances, you could say that was his best season in Formula One, even better than 2023. Considering the circumstances and everything, is his best season in Formula One. So absolutely a phenomenal season for Max Verstappen, absolutely amazing. So yeah, but next season is a big question mark for Red Bull. Obviously, Hajar, new teammate for Max, new Ford engine, and everybody starts from zero. And there's a lot of people saying that Red Bull will struggle next season. So let's see what happens next season for Red Bull. Second position, Mercedes. They've had a good season. They improved from the season before, where they had 4 race wins, but they were very consistent. However, this season they improved. They finished second. Kimi Antonelli, he had a good season. Before the European leg, he had a very good season where he was doing really well. Pole in sprint pole in Miami, podium in Canada. He was very good, and obviously the European leg he struggled a lot. However, since the European leg finished, or I would say after Monza, his performances has improved. Baku he did well. Also, podium in Brazil, he was absolutely amazing that weekend. Absolutely amazing. Like podium in Las Vegas, where I think he was starting like P17 or P18. Yes, that was because of disqualification from McLaren, but still, he had a great drive there in Las Vegas. And in general, he's had a very good season. And even in towards the end of the season, where in last 4 or 5 races, he started to become more competitive compared to George Russell from Mexico, I think, where he finished the first time above him. So yeah, Kimi Antonelli's had a good season, considering for a UKIP guy like him, he's had a very good season, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in the future, because the talent, the quality that he has is fantastic to see. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do in the future. George Russell has had a very good season as well. In the last 4 or 5 races, maybe it could have been better, but other than that, he's been very good this season, mostly consistent, extracting a lot out of the car, where the Mercedes were not really the fastest, but when Mercedes were the fastest in Canada and in Singapore, he extracted a lot. He won both those races comfortably. And in races where he shouldn't have got a podium, he got a podium. In Australia and Hungary, he was mostly consistent. He was very good, getting a lot of podiums. He's had a very good season, and I'm looking forward to see what's he gonna do next season. I think Mercedes should be strong in the new 2026 regulations, and if he does get a car that can fight for a championship, I think he could win the championship. I really think so. So he's had a very good season. I'm looking forward to see what's going to do next season as well. And Mercedes, they've improved. This effective era is over for them, because it's been a kind of a nightmare for them. And now they are moving to a new set of regulations. So when they should be better, that's for sure. So yeah, because it's an engine dependent regulation. So obviously Mercedes is the best engine. So I'm looking forward to see what they're going to do next year. So yeah. McLaren, obviously they've won both championships, the drivers and the constructors championship. They've had a very good season. Before Baku, they were destroying everybody, getting lots of podiums, even though in races where they didn't win, they had a 2-3 finish. They were getting 1-2s right, left, center. They were winning a lot of races. And then the cracks, the cracks started in Baku. Well, they sealed the constructors, but they made their life harder in the drivers' championship, when they should have won it earlier, in my opinion. The difficulties in Baku, engine failure in Zandvoort, double disqualification in Las Vegas, the strategy blunder in Qatar. So they had not an easy second half of the season, but you can understand why, because they stopped their development, I think since July. But they've had a very good season. Oscar Piastri's had a very good season as well, fantastic. Disappointing end to the season, where he was 34 points clear of Lando and 104 points clear of Max, but he's had a very good season. And obviously, Lando Norris, deserved world champion. As I said before, he's been the most consistent driver in terms of podiums. He's been always up there, and he's a deserved world champion. And I'm happy to see him win the championship, considering all the critics what they say about him. And he's a very nice guy as well. So very happy to see him win the championship. And congratulations to McLaren for a fantastic year of winning both championships. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you next time, and goodbye.